So there's an old movie from 1944 called Gaslight. And in the movie, it's a rich woman whose husband is psychologically abusing her. He keeps turning down the light, and back then all the lights were lit by gas, so gaslight, hence gaslight. He would turn down the lights every night a little bit dimmer and dimmer, and she would complain the lights are too dim, and he made her think she was going crazy, saying, no, the lights aren't dim. And it would just get darker and darker. He's like, what are you talking about? It's bright in here. The lights they're on high. And you see that with the secular media. As we're watching Joe Biden in full dementia, the media is telling us he is as sharp as a whip. I remember just like a month before the debate, Joe Scarborough on Morning Joe saying, I watch everybody, the people I disagree with, people I agree with, because you got to see what everybody's thinking. So I watch Joe Scarborough, the repeats. I'm working when he's on, but I'll watch him on YouTube. And I see him say, this version of Joe Biden is the best. People tell me in his meetings, he is the sharpest. He knows details about every country, about every policy going on. Joe Biden is the smartest man in the room. And then after the debate, Joe Scarborough was like, I love you, Joe Biden, but, it's time for you to resign because your mental state is too bad. And it was like, what? And in the same way they tell people you're not seeing what you're seeing, Joe Biden's a great guy, they'll demonize other people. It's us conservatives always said, conservatives think liberals are dumb, but liberals think conservatives are evil. And they will gaslight the people watching them, and they'll get them in a state of anger. They're always tuning in to see what else this horrible man Donald Trump is doing, and they just lie after lie. They'll see him joking and being sarcastic with his supporters, having fun and laughing, because that's one thing liberals have is no joy. Liberals are miserable. Even late night comedians aren't funny anymore. They're just so angry. Everybody's just so angry on the left. So they see Trump and his supporters having fun, joking, and they'll take a joke and state it like it's a policy, an official policy, and people will believe it, and they get all upset, and they're always getting angry. But they've been exposed because they couldn't gaslight the American public after a 90-minute debate. There was just no covering for it. So they got to cover their own butts now and act like they didn't know. They didn't know. They were misinformed, So people are now saying, well, if they lied to us about Biden, did they lie to us about Trump? And they're taking another look at Trump. And I see the same thing in the church. These YouTubers, so-called Catholic YouTubers, gaslighting us about Vigano all this time, telling us what a saint he is. Taylor Marshall said he thinks he's a saint. He's going to be a saint. Like, he's this wonderful guy. And you hear these guys just praising this guy. And now he's been exposed as a very evil man, a liar, a thief. He's baptizing Catholics, rebaptizing Catholics, which is a grave sin. Rebaptizing, reordaining priests and bishops. These are grave sins. Starting his own church. This is a bad guy. And we were told he was such a good guy. Now that they've been exposed, they're kind of distancing themselves from him. You'll start seeing them saying, well, he went over the line. I disagree with him. Like Joe Biden. Joe Biden has dementia now, but he used to be great. I don't know what happened to Vigano, but he used to be great. That's the line now, I suppose. And in the same way, as they were praising Vigano and Lefebvre, they talk about Lefebvre. Taylor Marshall said he thinks he's a saint. Kennedy Hall called him an actual saint, when in reality, Lefebvre was excommunicated by a real saint, Pope St. John Paul II. So the same way they demonize, they lift these guys up, these excommunicated Catholics, they demonize the good guys. They demonize Pope Francis. And just like the secular media has people angry every day, tuning in, angry, always angry about, what's this Trump going to do now? What's Trump saying now? They did the same thing about Pope Francis. He's going to ordain women. He's going to allow gay marriages. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Over and over and over. And and nothing they say ever comes true, but they come up with another lie about him. Or they see him joking with his friends, and then they take him out of context, the same way the left did with Trump. And now that people see that they were wrong about Vigano, they lied about Vigano, a lot of Catholics are taking another look at Pope Francis. And I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of friends saying, yeah, you were right about Pope Francis. He is a good Pope. You know, I thought I would never say that. So, you know, the lies always get exposed eventually. You can only lie so much, you know. And the liars are still going to have their supporters. You're going to still have people that are in their bubble of mainstream media. All they'll watch is ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, and they'll be locked in that bubble, and they'll start accepting a new lie, whatever, you know, the lie of the day is. And the same thing with Catholic YouTubers. There's going to be YouTubers that are going to trust only LifeSite News and Taylor Marshall and Kenny, all these guys that been lying about Vigano this whole time, you know. But from day one, when I came back to the Catholic Church, I never fell for it. Not that I'm brilliant or nothing, but I fell for it before, and I could smell these liars a mile away. You know, because when I was a Protestant, I was gaslit about the Pope. I was gaslit about Pope St. John Paul II. You know, I remember seeing pictures of him kissing a book, and everyone's like, yeah, he's kissing a Quran. He wants, you know, to combine Islam and Christianity together. And I believe this lie. And then I see Taylor Marshall, you know, a video with his thumb down and his face like he disapproves of Pope St. John Paul II kissing the Quran. It's a picture of Quran. And he's like, yeah, he kissed his Quran, and basically gaslit his followers the same way Protestants were gaslighting Protestants, you know. And not all Protestants hate the Pope, and not all Protestants hate Catholics. But there's an industry, just like in Catholicism, there's an anti-Catholic industry that makes money. And there's an anti-Pope Francis industry that makes money in Catholicism, fortunately. They're professional anti-Catholics. And some of them admit they're Protestants and some call themselves Catholics. But people that day kissing this book, a lot of people said it was actually a Greek Septuagint Bible. Some people said, well, he was handing a lot of books in the country we were in. It was like proper to kiss the gift you were given. And he was given so many books and Bibles, I don't even think he knew what he was kissing. Even if it was a Quran, he wouldn't have known it. So like this little thing like that, they make into it, they gaslight you like it's some horrible thing. And in fact, Taylor Marshall in one of his videos actually said the only reason Pope St. John Paul II is a saint is because Pope Francis wanted to canonize Vatican II. He wasn't made a saint because of his holiness. This is Taylor Marshall talking about a great saint of the church, John Paul II, you know. So don't think it's going to end when Pope Francis passes away. They got to keep their business going. The next pope, they're going to gaslight you about him too. So stay away from these toxic people. Stay Catholic.